What's going on, everybody? Welcome to North at NS9 Live. Welcome to NS9 Live. I'm not usually the one who hosts this show,
Right.
Tyler. Usually it's DiNardo. His internet's all jacked up. So he's going to try to figure that out. We're going to get started because we don't want to leave all of you guys hanging too much longer. But Tyler, how are you doing tonight?
Before we get into how I'm doing, we don't want to keep them hanging because they know the gym analytics are coming. We can't leave that out there.
I feel like I haven't done a PowerPoint in a while.
Probably last trade deadline.
No,
it was the worst moments. That was it.
The worst moments was one. Yeah. So I put a lot of effort into this presentation for you guys. So we'll get to that. Basically, we're gonna cover the whole trade day. This is a full-on trade deadline preview tonight. We're gonna talk about all the players who are available. We're gonna talk about all the teams that have been linked to these players. We're going to throw out maybe some names that could be potential returns for these players. And then at the end of the night, we're going to do some mock trades. All right. I've got a few mock trades lined up. Everyone in the comments too, go ahead, spit out your mock trades. I'll try to keep up with stuff throughout the show, and then we'll share some stuff at the end. So if you've got some mock trades throughout this episode, drop them in the comments and we'll share them if possible. But yeah, before we get to the trade deadline though, Tyler, I want to talk about a couple of things because we really haven't been on much since some news has happened. Pirates have signed quite a bit of their draft picks. Seth Hernandez has been signed, $7.25 million, record-breaking signing bonus for a high school pitcher. That's pretty neat. They've signed most of their college guys already. Jared Jones, Power Bat signed today. They had a bunch of. I think they've got like 14 people signed. Angel Cervantes, second-round pick, high schooler, California, announced that he is not signing though, and that he's going to honor his commitment to UCLA. But we'll see what happens there. There's Monday, 5 p.m. is the deadline, so there's still some time to make stuff happen.
Yeah, how many times have we seen that? Like, we've seen that negotiation tactic quite a few times. It's very possible he does go to UCLA. I mean, NIL is a thing. I know it's not going to be a signing bonus of a second rounder, which is close to $2 million will be. That's hard to pass up, but also I'm not him. I mean, he's going to do what's best for him. I don't know, Jim. I still think it gets done. I still do. That's hard to pass up. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I'm not panicking yet.
I'm with you. Like, the Pirates have saved some money so far in this draft. Seth Hernandez signed for like $300,000 below slot. So like, I feel like they could go up to like 2.5 million ish, 2.6, 2.7, 2.8 million for this guy. And like Anthony drops in the comments here, another prep pitcher was picked right after him and got 2.7 million. So like, I feel like that's like the Pirates are positioned to do that. And I don't know, like if you're an 18-year-old kid, someone offers you $2.75 million to come play baseball professionally. I know UCLA is probably a cool place to go if you're a starting pitcher on the baseball team, but NIL money is pretty slim when it comes to baseball. Like, it's very heavy football, basketball. If you're a baseball player, you're even like the best ones are probably pushing about 50K in NIL. Like, that's it. And you're making 50K as a single A player. And oh, by the way, you can have $2.75 million in the bank too. So we'll see what happens. Again, Monday is the deadline for that. Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll see if something ends up happening. On top of that, Roman Anthony officially no longer a prospect. Tyler, you know what that means?
Means that we got a number one on our hands.
How about that? Just about a year ago, Connor Griffin was the 9th overall pick in the draft, signed his deal. And now today, July 24th, Connor Griffin is the number one prospect in baseball, according to MLB Pipeline and Baseball America, because he was number 2 on their list as well. So pretty incredible feat for him. Just a huge developmental win for the Pirates. He looks to be every bit of a future star. And yeah, number 1 overall prospect in baseball. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I mean that's why you go after the upside in the draft. That's why they take the high school kid that plays shortstop and center field that's uber athletic, but there's some questions about the swing. That's why you do that. That's why you don't take Henry Davis 1-1.
Yeah. Or you do.
I know. I just had to take a shot.
Didn't work out. Justin Horwitz too. Yeah, so far
so
on the draft, like Cody says there. It's been a nice couple of drafts for Horwitz.
I think it's been a little bit of a breath of fresh air.
Like I mentioned on the day of the draft, like you could argue this is 3 drafts in a row the Pirates got the most talented player.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see what happens with Hernandez, but at least the previous 2, yes, I think that's absolutely correct.
Only drafted 1 in one of those. So, all right. Well, Ty, we want to get to what the people are here for.
The people are here for one reason.
The people are here for the trade deadline. Again, like I said, we're going to go through all the players that are seemingly available. We're going to talk about the teams that are in the mix. We're going to talk about some potential returns. And like I said, we're going to talk about mock drafts as well. So I'm using a new software for this slideshow tonight. So we're going to see how this works out. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and let's get this going. Let's see how,
it's PowerPoint time.
It's PowerPoint time. All right. We got it titled Pirates Booty. I've got it split up into 3 categories. We've got the gone category. And these are the guys who are, Tyler, they're gone. Like, no matter what, they're gone. They're being traded. You will not see these players in a Pittsburgh Pirates uniform in August. Then I got a little 50-50 category where it's like, they could go, they could stay. And I got a category here for like, we're not even going to talk about them really because they're not going anywhere.
Yeah. The whispers that we are just ignoring.
Yes, exactly. So let's get into it. First person who is gone is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Absolutely gone.
Yeah, and I mean, a little bit surprised that he made it through the offseason, to be honest with you. But yeah, he's absolutely gone. There's no reason to keep him. It's going to be a common theme here. Ooh, we're giving it away.
Again, new software here. Yeah, I know. I don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah, so IKF, gone. Andrew Heaney, gone.
Yep.
Absolutely gone.
He's
probably going to be a good 5th starter for somebody down the stretch, or he could be a reliever too, like for someone who needs bulk innings down the stretch as well. Like he can fulfill either of those roles, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Tommy Pham, gone.
Yep. Again, common theme. If you are on an expiring deal, gone.
Yeah. And then the last one, Caleb Ferguson, gone.
Unfortunate because I like the guy, but see ya.
There we go. Who is it? Ryan says, let's put DiNardo in the gone category. Yeah, hopefully there weren't too many spoilers there.
I mean, like, maybe we just put his internet in the gone category.
Yeah, that would work too. His internet is gone. He was trying to talk earlier, and you would see his face move like 5 seconds after you heard the audio. It was rough. It's that Florida internet. I think some alligator. Where's Bucko Mike to make fun of the alligators chewing his internet? All right. 50-50. 50-50. Mitch Keller. A lot of smoke. But they don't have to move him.
They don't. I still venture to guess that he will go in the offseason, if anything. I don't think it'll happen now, but 50-50 is probably right, because if they get the right deal, yeah, he could be gone. Like, he's gone if they get the right deal.
Yeah. I agree. David Bednar. I think you could probably even put him more in like the 75-25 category, but I didn't have enough room on the screen to make that, so we're going to round down. So I think he's a 50-50 here, but he's more and more looking like he's going to get gone. And what's fun about both of these two guys, and I guess it's not fun. Fun isn't the right word, because the fun thing would be we were a good team and we were keeping these two because they're good. But the thing about these two guys is that, I mean, Mitch Keller is going to be one of the best starting pitching options available. David Bednar is one of the best relief pitchers available here, if not the best. I think Felix Bautista just got placed on the IL as well with Baltimore. So, like, you're looking at Clase and Bednar probably as 1-2. And that's if Cleveland wants to trade Clase, which they don't have to. He's signed for a couple more years.
Yeah, and I mean, you got one more year with Bednar. I think he's a free agent after next year.
Yeah, one more year with Bednar after this.
And
yep.
I mean, after what we've seen with Bednar over the last year and a half, 2 years, like, it's hard to not sell him literally at his peak.
He's at his peak right now. I mean, he's looking as dominant as he ever has.
Yeah.
So the Driz asks, what would make you say gone for Keller? What does the return look like? Well, the Driz, stay tuned. We're going to get into that. All right. Next up on the 50-50 slide, Dennis Santana. Kind of same mold as Bednar. I think he's not as coveted as Bednar just because the track record's not there as much. But Dennis Santana has been every bit as good as David Bednar this season.
Absolutely. How much longer does Santana have on his deal? His same
deal.
As Bednar. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Free
one more year with
next
him.
year.
I mean,
Yep.
Again, it's similar with Bednar, but the track record, you're not going to probably get the return. And also, you can, if you do deal Bednar, people are still dumb enough to pay for saves.
Yeah. All right. Next up in the 50-50, Brian Hayes I'm throwing in here. And the reason for this is because there does seem to be a few teams who are interested. And I think if the Pirates can finagle a way to land a Brian Hayes replacement this deadline, they would happily trade Brian Hayes.
I think if something does come available where they don't have to eat any of his money, which I don't know that they would, but I think the deal gets done. And I'm truthfully fully on board, and we'll see what kind of deals you shake up for it.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, there's a few teams out there who could really use some third basemen. So, all right, and then the staying category, I've got Brian Reynolds. There's been a little bit of smoke, but Brian Reynolds isn't going anywhere. I don't think it's a wise move to trade Brian Reynolds at his lowest value where he is right now. And then I've got O'Neal Cruz in this category as well. These past few days, we've heard some teams are inquiring on him, and the Pirates are listening, but they're not necessarily looking to move Cruz. I don't think there's any chance either of these two guys get traded.
No, both of those trades would be completely stupid.
Yep. All right. So do we want to get into the nitty-gritty here?
Let's get into the nitty-gritty and break down the hypotheticals you have come up with.
Let's break it down. All right. First up, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. I think out of all of the rentals, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa probably has the most value. Just because of the versatility. Like if you're a contending team, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is a guy that you want on your team. You can plug him in at third base. You can plug him in at shortstop. You can plug him in at second base. Hell, you could put him in the outfield if you wanted to. Like, this dude can pretty much do anything you want him to do, and all the while give you professional at bats too. Like, he's not great by any means at the plate, but he's not terrible either. He's good enough to be that, like, backup everything.
He is. He's now, I guess the difference between last year is that he was playing at his absolute best, especially at the plate. This year, he's been solid, but he's playing a position that is not very conducive for him to be at his best value. So maybe the Pirates can sell him on that, where the value is not all the way there with the Pirates because he's playing shortstop every day. Still, you got a rental guy that is a utility player, that he's a contact hitter. You're not expecting much here.
Nope. Some teams that have been mentioned to be in the mix for IKF, Toronto, the team that traded IKF to the Pirates, is one of them. New York, the New York Yankees, another team IKF has played for. So you're sensing a pattern here. Like, I think the teams who have had IKF on them in the past are like, you know what, remember that guy we had? It would be nice to have him back. And then the San Francisco Giants also linked to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Now, if you remember, the Pirates didn't give up a whole lot to get Isaiah Kiner-Falefa last year. So when I'm throwing out names like these, I'm really just saying, like, hey, these are maybe the types of players that you're getting in return. For a guy like Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, you aren't like if you're getting somebody back, there's probably something wrong with them, right? Like I went through these organizations and I was like, okay, what could make sense here? So Toronto, Yohendrick Pinango is a guy who I picked out. And as I said, Toronto's a team that we've made a lot of trades with. He's 23 years old, just got promoted to AAA last month. Got some pretty decent power, hit 8 homers earlier this year in AA. Has 6 homers in AAA this year so far in 37 games. 103 weighted runs created plus, 171 weighted runs created plus in AA. I mean, the problem here is the hit tool isn't great, but he's got pretty decent power. And like, if you're looking for somebody to maybe do something out of a corner outfield spot, he's somebody.
So they're basically trading him for Charles McAdoo again.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
In the grand scheme of things, like if you look at the FanGraphs scouting report on him, they talk about a guy that there are very large question marks with the hit tool. Obviously, the raw power, if you're going after someone for IKF, you're going after a tool, I think. And in this case, you'd be looking at the power, which I think is something the Pirates kind of went after a little bit in the draft. So maybe it's something they're starting to value a little more. So, I mean, you're still talking about a 40 future value guy, probably. I think you have him at 45 on here, but
yep.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not him, but in that ballpark, I think we're on the right track.
Yeah, so that was just kind of name for Toronto there I threw out. And then same thing with the Yankees here. Everson Pereira, ex top prospect. He made his debut in 2023. He was hurt all last year. He only has one more option. I mean, this is his last option being used this year. So that's another thing. Like, there's a wart here where if you're getting Everson Pereira, like, he's either on your team next year or you got to DFA him. But he's still pretty young. He's 24. He hits the ball in AAA, but he strikes out a ton. Like I said, there's obviously issues here with Everson Pereira, but the Pirates need offense. They need upside. Pereira's got a lot of issues with him, but like that's who you're going to get for a guy like IKF.
Any thoughts to our new friend that just joined us?
Look at that, Donardo in the house.
Look at him. Donardo,
hi guys.
Hello. Look who decided to join.
But to touch on Pereira a little bit here, I do like what you're doing here, Jim. I like the thought process. You go after position players, because my fear here with the guy, I understand if they were to go after a reliever here, a higher upside guy that, you might be able to get a back end guy. I'd be okay with it, but there's an obvious hole in this organization right now. Take a shot on some tools with the power or the hit tool. I'm good with it.
Yeah, again, you're trading IKF. So like
right. Pick a tool and trade for it.
Yeah, like and I think that's what I'm doing here is I'm saying like, okay, there's something here, but there's clearly issues as well. But like if you acquire enough guys with something there, does something happen? that's kind of what the theme of this is going to look like. And then lastly, San Francisco, another top prospect who's just kind of floundered a little bit. Marco Luciano, not really a shortstop anymore. At least you don't want to put him there, but you could put him at third base. You could put him at second base. You could even put him in a corner outfield a little bit as well. But major power, major swing and miss. That's kind of what you're dealing with here. Like I said, he used to be one of the better prospects in baseball and just has kind of fallen from graces since then, but still pretty young. I mean, he's 23, but major swing and miss issues.
Yes, and also Fangraphs has his raw power at a 70 grade and his game power at 60. So it's legit there. Like you said, contact rate's not great. Man, like, go back to the position part. It's IKF replacement. He can play shortstop, but not really. You get some power tool there. I mean, yeah. I don't know. You can't expect much in this trade.
Yeah. Donardo, thoughts?
I mean, I look at it this way also. Like, the Pirates gave up Charles McAdoo. And at that time, everyone loved him. But in reality, who is he as a prospect? And that was for a year and a half of IKF. And that was when that IKF was having a monster first half of the season, right? So a half a season remaining. What do you expect? You know, again, like, what do you expect out of him? So I would take any one of these. You know, like you mentioned, last guy, Luciano, like he was a former top prospect. There's some intrigue there, I guess, in that sense, but you're not getting much. None of these guys are going to fix the rebuild. Find someone with a solid tool or something and go from there.
The other thing, too, about all three of these guys, Penango is Rule 5 eligible. Pereira and Luciano are out of options after this year. So those are the types of guys, too, that you see teams move also, because, like, there's not really much place to put them. Like, what are the Yankees going to do with Everson Pereira next year? You know, right. If this is an easy way for them to get rid of them while acquiring, you know, something that they need for 2 months, you know, it's
no, you know what? I'm out on him. Actually, I'm completely out on him now because they're going to force a spot for him. And we're going to be stuck with him until July, and he's going to be terrible because they will hang on to him forever.
The thing that you are going to have, though, is you're going to have playing time available. Like, I mean, we haven't gotten Tommy Pham yet, but if you could just go out there and put Everson Pereira in left field for 2 months and be like, all right, sink or swim.
Or he's going to go to the minors, hang out, and then come up next year.
Yeah,
that would suck.
Right. All right, so that's my Isaiah Kiner Falefa slide. Next up, Andrew Heaney. I only picked out 3 teams for Heaney here to kind of go through, but honestly, Andrew Heaney's a guy that could go to anybody. Like, every team out there could acquire Andrew Heaney to be either a back-end starter or a reliever. Like, he could fill that role for anybody. But we already talked about Toronto a little bit. Another name just throwing out there, Victor Arias. Sort of, like I said, still plenty of warts for Victor Arias. He's younger. He's 21 years old. He's already in AA. Does strike out, you know, a decent amount. But kind of a toolsy all-around player. Baseball America, I think, has him as their 23rd prospect. So that's just another name I threw out there because, again, if we're trading these guys, we probably want some sort of hitters in return. And Arias is just kind of a name that stuck out to me there.
Good walk rate, though. I mean, the strikeout rate's up there. I don't know about the problem. I think here is projectability. Like, he's 150, and you have him at 5'11". Some places have him like 5'9". We're probably talking about a guy my size in all reality. So maybe like you're not getting Jose Altuve here.
Well, that's also more or less when they signed, right? Like, those aren't updated sizes and weights right now, right?
He's 5'0". No, that's correct. He's 150. Yeah, he's a small dude.
Right now? Okay.
Yeah, he's a
Jeez.
small dude. Yeah. But like I say, he kind of just he does a lot of things well. He's hit at every level, and he's Rule 5 eligible this coming off season. So just another thing there. Detroit, just to throw out somebody, Max Anderson. Doesn't really have a spot on this team because I feel like he's just behind a lot of other players who play a similar position. He's not really a shortstop anymore, but I think you could move Max Anderson to third base, where I think the bat would play enough there so that like this wouldn't be a total loss. Like I think you could potentially get something out of Max Anderson if you move him to third.
Yeah. The bat's got to play, obviously.
Also, Rule 5 eligible next year. Defense is average. Fangraphs has him at a 40 currently, potentially a 50.
Right.
But he mostly plays second base. He has played a little bit of third base this year, though.
I mean, a little bit old for AA, but not really because he's got drafted not long ago, second rounder, good signing bonus. He's hitting this year.
He's hitting. Yeah.
And not striking out. Contact rate looks good. I mean, of the two that have been listed, this would be my preferred option.
Yeah, he's closer to the majors too.
Yeah.
And like I said, I feel like just Detroit's system is so loaded that he's just blocked like in every direction. Like there's just nowhere for him to go right now.
I mean, like projections don't completely hate him either. So that's my deal. Let's make it.
All right.
Yeah.
And then I've got Boston on here too. Miguel Bleis, another guy who I believe is Rule 5 eligible this offseason. Loud, power, contact, obviously the issue. The hit tool is the issue. He's in high A right now. 111 weighted runs created plus. He's toolsies, stole 38 bases last year. But again, Rule 5 eligible. So all of these guys, like they're you can see if you squint enough, you can see something there. So that's just kind of who I threw out there.
Bly's also a former top Boston prospect, so there's some of that.
Yeah, I don't know where Bleis topped out at.
I think he was around 4 or 5 in their system.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass. The guy can't hit in high A ball.
But again, you're trading Andrew Heaney. So but yeah, you are right.
No.
He actually topped out at number 5. So he was the Red Sox number 5 prospect last year and then dropped. Now he's number 20.
Jim, you gave me the option of Max Anderson, Victor Arias, and Miguel Bleis. I can't see that far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm taking the one that can actually hit a baseball.
So just throwing out some names. But again, Heaney could go anywhere. I think there's 10 teams that could trade for Andrew Heaney.
He's going to be sold my Rodriguez.
Tommy Pham. OPS up to 675. I think he's higher than Brian Reynolds right now. And he's played his way into a spot where, like, if you're a team in a playoff hunt and you want a rental outfielder, like you want some help, but maybe you don't want to go like all in. Tommy Pham's your guy, I think. He has tons of playoff experience. He's on fire right now, so you're kind of trading for him at the right time. But I've got San Diego in here, which is a team that expressed a little bit of interest in him over the offseason. If you remember, Bryce Johnson, who was in Pirates spring training as a minor league invitee, he is currently on the Padres as their 4th outfielder. So like the Padres could use some outfield help. So that's one of them. I also have the Dodgers on here. Like if you look at the Dodgers and who they're rostering right now in their outfield, it's not great. James Outman and Estuary Ruiz are both playing for the Dodgers right now. And James Outman is basically just a Jack Sawinski clone. And Ruiz can't hit, but he's fast. So like there's some, and I feel like the Dodgers are just a good fit. Like Pham's a guy who has, like I say, he's got tons of postseason experience. So I feel like the Dodgers are a good fit for him. And then I've also got another team who could really use some offensive help, but maybe don't want to make a big splash, and that's Cleveland. Cleveland is in the mix, but kind of, and they need offense. So like this could be something where they make a move, but it's not really quote unquote all in, but it is an upgrade.
It's their Brian De La Cruz.
It's their Brian De La Cruz. Yep.
I mean, once again, this is a guy who we thought was going to DFA. DFA this guy. Get him off this team. I mean, there's the chance in April and May, and now we're talking about potential trade, and albeit for good reason, he's performing. He's the best Pirate on this team for like the last month. I mean, the nice thing about Tommy Pham too is chances are he'll go somewhere that he played before. There's going to be some familiarity. There's going to be teams that know Tommy Pham and what he brings, and they're going to go after him. So it's like Andrew Heaney. I think there's a lot of teams that could really go after Tommy Pham for many reasons. But I mean, he has shown to be a capable player. That's what made this, first half of the season so frustrating for him. Even us, we didn't think he's going to be this bad. So, I mean, for a fourth outfielder, he's playing really, really good defense, guys. Like that matters for playoff teams. So I think, yeah, there's a lot of options. And once again, it's Tommy Pham. What do you really expect to get?
Yeah, and looking back at last year, Kiermaier was traded to the Dodgers and Ryan Yarbrough went in return for that. Probably not a very similar type of trade that'll happen there. But then you go back to Tommy Pham the year before, who was traded because it happens every single year. And you got Jeremy Rodriguez out of that, a 17-year-old shortstop with some upside. So maybe you go that route and go a little more upside with Pham. Rentals just aren't going to get you too much.
Yeah. And so I kind of pivoted here just to kind of throw out some different ideas. You are about to decimate your bullpen at this deadline. So I went ahead and I picked out some guys who were our bullpen replacements for this. So San Diego, Bradley Rodriguez is the guy who I've got coming in return. Righty arm, power, destined for the bullpen, but like just nasty stuff. From the Dodgers, left-hander Ronan Kopp, lefty reliever. Again, just nasty stuff. Like the strikeout numbers are insane. Control issues are why he's not a starter, but just nasty stuff. And then another lefty from Cleveland, Eric Sabrowski, who was injured for the first half of this year. He's actually on the Cleveland Guardians active roster now, but a little bit older. But another guy who has proved to be very, very effective out of the bullpen. So just I think you could use one of these rentals as an opportunity to like reload your bullpen a little bit. And these are just some guys who I picked out from these three teams specifically.
Yeah, I feel like at some point in one of these trades, or maybe two of them, they are going to get some sort of major league potential high leverage reliever. And that's what they're going to covet for one of these potential options. Tommy Pham, I like using him as that guy to go get that.
Yeah. I think like what we're going to see in like this whole entire trade deadline is there's going to be a lot of guys, a lot of rentals, a lot of interesting ways they can go. There's nothing like if you talk about Mitch Keller, you can really pin down like true targets. When you're talking about rentals, it's like, do you want to go like a 27 reliever that, like, I laugh here, Anthony Murphy said, who has the best sweeper of the group? That's who they're going to get. I mean, that's a way of targeting like a Santana, like a, Dennis Santana of other teams, right? Who's the guy that's 27 years old, not doing real well, but there's something we can identify. Hey, here's Tommy Pham, opposed to you just DFAing them. I think international money could be a play. Maybe the Pirates have seems like depleted all of their international dollars. So maybe there's someone they want to get here. And maybe, like you said, maybe it's a guy like one of these and some international money, But again, like that's where these rentals, you're going to get either guys with warts or someone who's so far away. Yeah, I don't know what much to add here. I guess I don't know, but I'll throw those guys again. I'd be cool with. I'd be interested to see who the Pirates are identifying. Again, like to Anthony Murphy's comment here, like who are the Pirates identifying? Like, hey, this is one of our guys. We can turn them into something. Because I think Jim, you nailed it too. Like a lot of guys are getting traded. They're going to have to supplement those deals with players that can play for the rest of the year as well.
Yeah. And like I said, out of all these guys, I like all of them. For like all of these guys have plus bullpen potential to them. So I feel like you're in a position where you can restock your bullpen if you wanted to with this. All right. Caleb Ferguson. You're going to see a lot of kind of similar teams here. Mets, Tigers, Blue Jays. We've already talked about the Tigers. We've already talked about the Blue Jays. Drew Gilbert, a name out there for the Mets that I'm putting in the mix.
It's a fun name.
Yeah, fun name. He's got, I mean, I doubt you get somebody like Drew Gilbert for Caleb Ferguson. But he's one of those guys who just like, he doesn't do anything like spectacularly well, but he's
a ball player.
He's just kind of good, okay at everything. He's in AAA, so he's pretty close. He's above average hitter in AAA, and again, he just kind of does everything okay.
Is it him that's the raging a-hole?
I'm not sure, but he also can play center field too, so that's another plus with Drew Gilbert.
I'm looking back to see if he's the one that flipped off the umpire. I can't quite remember.
I don't know. But Drew Gilbert is, like I said, he's in AAA. He's Rule 5 eligible this offseason. So someone that you'd have to make a decision on one way or the other.
Yep, he is. He is the raging D-bag.
He's the raging
Go get him. Go get him.
Excellent.
We need one of those. We need one of those.
There you go.
He is a raging D-bag.
For trading Tommy Pham, you need to recoup
we need
him
to
with
get a Tommy Pham type guy back. Yeah.
He is a turd. Let's get him.
There you go. Detroit, I'm putting out there. This is kind of more of like just a flyer. I mean, young guy. I think he's in, just to kind of throw out this idea of, I don't think he's made it out of the Dominican Summer League yet. But one of just someone there, just a flyer to take on, who's very, very far away. And then just an interesting piece here with Angel Bastardo. He was a Rule 5 pick this past year. Had Tommy John last year, so he hasn't pitched yet. Which means he's still going to be someone that you've got to carry next year. But the stuff's nasty, like nasty stuff. So if you wanted to have a guy in your bullpen, this could be a flyer you take on. Like I said, you'd have to carry him all next year because he's not going to fulfill his Rule 5 requirements this year. But just a name to kind of keep an eye on. I mean, this would probably have to be a player to be named later also, because he is on the IL right now, but just something there.
Dan, you look back at last year, Phil Maton was a expiring or a rental reliever traded for cash, player to be named later. That's probably close to what you're getting for Ferguson here. So wouldn't be shocked if it's in that realm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now for the big stuff.
Oh boy.
Mitch Keller. He's the prize. He's the one that every competing team would love to have. So let's just start off with some teams that are linked to him. There's more than this, but just the ones that I've read have the most smoke. The Mets, the Yankees, the Cubs, the Blue Jays, and the Red Sox are the 5 teams that I have listed here because that's all I could fit on the screen without making these lists very, very tiny. And really, when it comes to these teams, like you're not looking for like one specific guy in the 10 to 30 range. Like you need top players in return. So we're just going to go ahead and post the top prospects from these teams to kind of show you who would be in the mix here. The Red Sox are the only ones where I left off 1 and 2, just because you're not getting Roman Anthony or Marcelo Meyer. But everybody else I think is somewhat in play. And I don't know, like there's some intriguing names on this list, but if you're trading Keller, you're going to want what back in return? You're going to want offense. And so that's what we're kind of looking for, is like who fits that role. And there's like Boston doesn't really fit that role unless you think you can get like Duran or Abreu from the major league team to go along with this. And I just don't think I don't think the Red Sox are going to do that.
I need a dude. Like you said, you're not trading him for probably more arms. Yeah, you'll take more arms if it's part of the package, but the main piece of this has to be a legitimate hitter, or else he's not getting dealt. And at least that's the mindset I think the three of us have, but we'll see what happens with it. I'm so of the boat that I think it happens after or during the offseason this year.
Well, you think it happens during the offseason because that's logical and like what should be done. We don't know what Ben's going to do. Ben doesn't seem to do what's logical. And I don't know here. Like I think about these packages. They're pretty fair as far as like a value standpoint. It's not like I don't look at any of these and just say, holy hell, like that's garbage compared to what you should get for Mitch Keller. It's just, this isn't what you trade Mitch Keller for. And, when I look at these, the problem is like that's at the deadline, you're probably not getting what you want for Mitch Keller. What we are saying we want for Mitch Keller, what the Pirates should target for Mitch Keller, because the Pirates need and reason for Mitch Keller isn't solely money. It's also like, hey, our offense stinks. How can we get it better? Well, we have this chip that can help us revitalize this offense for a bit or whatever, right? So if you trade Mitch Keller, you can get a bat in return. It's a baseball move, and it makes your team hopefully better. You think you have the talent and ability to develop and have an eye for pitching talent, right? So you can replace Mitch Keller. You don't have it for the offensive side, so you trade Mitch Keller and get that there. None of these guys are in the MLB. And when you're trading at the trade deadline, you're probably trading with contenders. And what do contenders want to do? They want to contend, which means they probably need to keep their players. There's not too many that have just extra players lying around. You know what I mean? Like that's very, very rare. You might be able to argue Boston, but again, like they'd probably rather hang on to Duran right now. Do that in the offseason. So these packages aren't terrible. It's just like Jet Williams. Is that the headliner I want as a talent potentially? But like he might not be here next year. And then you got to hope that they can develop him, and you could kind of go down this list, even with the Red Sox package. And I just like looking at this here again, they're very fair and comparable, I believe, but I don't want any of these.
Yeah. Keep in mind, these aren't packages. These are I just listed their top 5 prospects.
Sure.
So you're not even getting all of these guys. You're probably picking 1 or 2 at the most,
But what I'm alluding to is like with those guys, like none of them I feel is maybe the Yankees a little bit short because also too like I'm not a Spencer Jones guy at all. But most of those like you're fine with that talent coming back, but none of that talent in there to me is like, okay, you know what? That's a cannot miss. That's going to be a guy in the majors. He's going to be impact next year. Do it prospect. It's also prospects that are like, maybe.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of comments too. Can they get Jaron Duran? Can they get Addison Barger? I think they could get those guys in the offseason.
Yeah.
Like if you're Boston and you're wanting to compete right now, like I'm very hesitant to deal Jaron Duran. If I'm the Blue Jays and I'm wanting to compete right now, I'm extremely hesitant to give you Addison Barger down the stretch. So I think that's where this what do you want from Mitch Keller? If you want major league talent in return for Mitch Keller, trading him right now is going to be hard because the teams that are going to be wanting him aren't going to want to give you major league talent for these last 2 months of the season when they also need major league talent. They're going to be more willing to give up prospects. And there are some prospects on here who are like very close to the majors. Like you look at this Cubs group and Ballesteros, Casey, Alcantara, all those guys are like, they're knocking on the door. And so then you got to weigh like, do I make a trade with the Cubs and deal Mitch Keller to someone in our division? Because they probably, if you're looking at from a prospect standpoint, the Cubs probably have the best thing to offer, probably the best package to offer you here, as far as guys who you can just trade for right now, and then you can just like immediately call them up. I like the Mets too here as a fit as well. I am a huge fan of Carson Bench. And I think that if you're going to make a trade with the Mets, like if that's a guy I would love to somehow get into my organization, but I'm with you on Spencer Jones. I think he could be fun. Like I think watching Spencer Jones develop and just to see who he can be is a fun baseball viewing experience because he's basically minor league Joey Gallo at this point. And it's like, okay, does minor league Joey Gallo turn into Joey Gallo or left-handed Aaron Judge? Or does he turn into an absolute pumpkin and he's Jack Swinski? So it's a fun experiment. I don't know if I want to trade Mitch Keller for a fun experiment. That's kind of where I'm at with Jones.
Yeah. Well, like building a rocket ship is a fun experiment also, but I can't build rocket ships. So it wouldn't be a fun experiment for me to do so. I would rather enjoy it elsewhere. And, kind of like the Ben Cherington regime, they can't build rocket ships either. So I, as a fan and person who talks about the Pirates, would love to watch that experiment be done with someone else because I know what's going to happen if Ben tries to build the rocket ship. And it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Like I'm not doing it for any of these guys, to be honest with you. I'm not doing it for a single one of these prospects at all.
Okay.
I need a real deal major league hitter.
I'm with you.
And like I think that's fair. And I think if that's what you're holding out for, then you're not going to see a Mitch Keller trade. It's gonna be during the offseason. Because you're not going to get an impact bat from a contender the last week of July.
Right. But also I wouldn't trade Mitch Keller at all at this moment. But hey, if you're gonna do it, I just don't think now's the time.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. Another prize. He's probably the best reliever available, if not the second best reliever available. He's got one more year after this. And the teams are somewhat similar. You got the Mets, Yankees, you got the Blue Jays. I threw the Phillies in here and I threw the Tigers in here as well. But same deal. We're going to look at some top prospects because if you're trading David Bednar, like I say, you're getting something good in return for him. So again, I've got, Mets prospects 4 through 8. I've got the Yankees top 5. I've got the Phillies minus Painter. I've got the Blue Jays top 5 on here, and I've got the Tigers minus Clark, McGonigal, and Rayner. So yeah, these if you're trading Bednar, like I expect a top 100 prospect in return.
I don't know if they're getting that. And I mean, I guess the weird thing is there's not very many comps for Bednar here. Not many relievers have been dealt with multiple years of control that are as good as Bednar, at least recently. And teams have gotten a little bit smarter about dealing for relievers. I'd love a top 100 prospect, but sorry, Jim, I just don't know if they're getting there for him.
I think you need one. And I think what you are at least in a somewhat of a unique position here where like teams want this guy. there are a lot of teams want this guy. And I think you can hold out for like what you really want.
I just don't know if anyone's giving up a top 100 guy for David Bednar. But that's why Ben Cherington should be a better GM. Go get it.
Yeah, go get it. The Mets traded 2 months of Aroldis Chapman.
Right.
No, 2 months of Javi Baez for Pete Crow Armstrong.
Right.
Yes.
And
correct.
Like,
you know,
Chapman's been dealt many times for good baseball players.
Chapman, Gleyber Torres.
Number 1 Pirates killer.
Yeah, so like these trades have happened. And again, like he's as good as it gets.
Now, do you wonder on the other side of it if teams are aware that the Pirates probably want to move him because this is the peak of David Bednar? He could turn back into a pumpkin tomorrow.
I don't think he can. Like
any reliever can.
I know.
Yeah.
Like we literally just saw him be awful for like
we did. And that's like, to me, that's a strike on his report card, more or less. But it's one, and he's shown like he's come back from that. He is the dominant David Bednar, and I don't think it's smoke and mirrors. I mean, I think it's certainly proven. It's a long enough track record since coming back. He is absolutely dominating. Like everything looks good about David Bednar, and teams that are very, very smart, right? I'm sure there's enough that shows like that's true. I mean, think about this. Like we have been for a full year now. You know, I mean, go back a year. It's been like the stuff is still there. I don't know what's wrong with David Bednar. This whole offseason, it's just like I expect David Bednar to be closer to the old David Bednar than what this new one is, because like it's just weird that his stuff is still there, the velocity is still there. He's just not putting it together and having a good year. And we saw what the year started with. He goes down to AAA, has 5 appearances, comes back up, and has been absolutely dominant. If anything, Tyler, this is the best we've seen David Bednar ever.
Yeah,
so I do think teams are like, they're not worried about that stretch. I mean, that might be able to make the trade value come down a little bit. Like, well, hey, Ben, you know, like, but I don't think it's going to be like, okay, no, we don't trust David Bednar. Here's our number 10 prospect. Here's our number 15 prospect. I think he can get a good return. So this is where now I'm a bit torn. Hear me out. Because a month ago, when we were talking about trading David Bednar and such, I was on board. No, like don't keep him. And part of that was, what is his trade value now? Like, what are you really getting from this David Bednar? Because he is coming back, but he has been bad. I didn't expect him to be this dominant, and he is. The answer to the question is, I think you can get something good out of David Bednar now, like something that can actually be impactful for next year. Whereas a month ago, I'm debating like, you know, the value in that probably isn't going to be as good as the value of saying, hey, David Bednar, you're from here. Want to take a hometown discount. You want to sign like a 2-year extension for maybe $12 million. And if he says yes, that's like, I mean, David Bednar, $6 million a year is a good buy. And David Bednar might sign that because, again, like it's $12 million as a reliever. He has gone through that before. That's $12 million guaranteed he's getting, 2 years guaranteed he's getting. Staying in Pittsburgh could mean something. Maybe he'll do it. But now I'm not saying trade him. But what I am saying is I can be talked into it depending on what the package is. And he's now proven himself to be the type of player that can command that type of package that would make me feel like, you know what? I don't hate that idea. Do it.
So, see, I think I disagree with you in that I 100% would trade him right now. It's just I don't know that they're going to get that top 100 prospect. I think the best deal available, if it's good enough, I'm taking it for David Bednar right now because he is at his peak, I think. Like I said, he could turn back into a pumpkin tomorrow. I don't think he will, but I also don't know if David Bednar's as good as he has been for the last couple months. He might be, but he's still a reliever. You need help with bats. The only thing that scares the crap out of me is that they're just going to get a David Bednar replacement and just go after another reliever.
Yeah, that's a mistake. Like, I think if
That's
you
what
trade
scares me.
Bednar, like if you're trading Bednar, it's got to be a legit return. Like, and he deserves a legit return with the way he's pitching right now. Again, like when it comes to relievers who are available, he very well might be the best out there. And teams are going to pay for that because when it comes to the postseason, the relievers relief pitching gets even more important.
Sure.
And every one of those outs count. And I said, I feel like Bednar potentially, like this may sound really, really stupid, but I feel like Bednar potentially, if you just deal one-on-one, could have similar value to Keller almost. And I know that's like really stupid, but like right now, if you're a contender, man, I want this guy on my team. Like if I want to win a World Series this year, I want this guy on my team.
So I
David
guess
Bednar will, if you are looking to win a World Series right now, David Bednar will probably have more impact to that than Mitch Keller in 2025.
I agree. Like, yeah. David Bednar could be pitching in the 8th and 9th inning of a Game 7. Mitch Keller's not pitching Game 7.
Right.
So, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, and that's why we see relievers happen to get dealt for those weird packages every now and then that don't make any sense.
I mean, you saw what Tanner Scott got last year.
Yeah. And that's a very good point, too.
Dude, I've just been burnt by this team so many damn times. And I've seen them trade so many relievers for more relievers.
Yeah. All right.
And I, like, just to say this real quick, though, too, just go Tyler's point. You know, like he said, like, I don't think he can be as good as he was the past 2 months. You can't be. It's physically impossible because Tyler, for 2 months, he has not given up a run. He hasn't given up an run.
Fair.
Literally, in May 24th, he has 20 straight appearances. He's pitched 20.1 innings. He has not given up a run. He has not given up a run in 2 months. Like, again, put this in perspective. This is how dominant David Bednar has absolutely been. So, I mean, yeah, he's not going to be this good. He can't. But what we're seeing, though, is he is damn good. He is damn good right now. He looks every bit of it. So again, like I do like what Jim said about the package. I think it's close. I think Mitch Keller gets more, but I think what you're saying is what makes it close is yes, David Bednar will actually be an impact player in the playoffs. Mitch Keller is the type of pitcher that gets you there. David Bednar is the type of player that wins it for you. And he's doing that right now.
Yeah.
His stock's up there. His stock is absolutely up there.
It's sky high. Sky high. And then I went ahead and just did the exact same for Dennis Santana because the teams that are interested in Bednar are going to be interested in Santana. And I think Santana's value isn't quite as high as Bednar's just because he doesn't have the track record that Bednar does. But Santana is probably he's a top 7 or 8 reliever available out on the trade market right now. It's just a question of if you're trading, like, do you trade both of these guys? Do you keep one because you need a bullpen next year? But I wanted to make sure, as I have these guys in the 50-50 category because I have a feeling one's going to be dealt, one won't be. And I think Bednar has a higher value right now. But Santana this year, you look at his stats, they're just incredible. The dude he's a walking 1-2-3 12 pitch inning. Like that's just what he does every time. Like clockwork.
This is where I'd be more okay getting a replacement for Dennis Santana back. Not as the main piece here, but if you're going to get a reliever, I'm okay doing it with Santana, but I need a bat as well. And you're not going to get a legit bat out of Dennis Santana, but I'll take an intriguing bat and some sort of reliever replacement for him. But he's also a guy you don't have to deal. I'm okay hanging on with Santana.
He's also cheap. So like
Right.
if you're a team and you don't like spending money and you want a closer for next year, like Dennis Santana, and that fits the Pirates pretty
Right.
well.
That includes the Pirates.
Dennis Santana will probably make $3.5 million next year. $4 million.
Also much cheaper than what Bednar would get.
Less than what Bednar would get. Yep.
I know you're doing your Gymalytics. I just want to throw this up there because like I'm with you. Like I think Bednar commands more. He's just more dominant of a pitcher. He has more of the swing miss stuff, right? Where Santana doesn't. But again, guys, like this is Dennis Santana. You know, like this is the way we've talked about. He has, of course, I don't have the numbers in front of me right now, but I mean, he's like the fifth best ERA among relievers since he's been with the Pirates since like June 18th of last year. You know, we're talking like 80 innings, a sub-2 ERA. Like I think it's a 1.4 ERA, something like that. Like he's been dominant. His stuff might not be dominant, right? He might not have like Bednar type stuff, but he has been every bit a dominant reliever. And this is a long track record also. So like, absolutely. You know, I'm on the mindset also like one has to go because you have two really valuable relievers with some control that could give you some impact. But you're also a team that's thinking about 2026. 2026 needs to be a team that year that you're trying to win. And you can't do it by trading away your closer and your setup guy. Likely you can't do it, you know? So that's just where I'm at with this. Like, I'm probably looking to see who gives me the best package that makes sense. And then moving forward with there. But I'm only dealing one because I still need 2026 in mind. And maybe Dan Santana does the same thing. Maybe he signs an extension. Who knows? You know, that's something that you can try to do with these guys. Maybe get a 2 or 3 year extension on one of them. But yeah, Santana has been really good, guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see both moved. But I have a feeling one will stick. But we'll see. I mean, both absolutely could be moved, and both are absolutely at their highest values right now.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, Nick does bring up a good point. Like, if you're a bottom 5 team in baseball, you don't need elite back end relievers because, like, what are you saving? You know,
right.
You can go out there and get those people later. It is difficult to find like elite back end relievers though. Like they don't grow on trees. That's why Bednar is going to be so coveted. That's why teams want these guys. You can't just go out and find them.
I mean, they literally found Santana.
Yeah, but
I know it took about 1,000 guys though.
Yeah, like they got Santana off the waiver wire, but it took 30 other waiver wires who sucked to find the one guy who didn't. So it's if you're a team that sucks, you can afford to do that and just go through guy after guy after guy after guy. But if you're looking to actually win, you can't really do that anymore. So,
but those other teams that are looking to replace a Dennis Santana or a David Bednar don't have an Isaac Matson in their bullpen. Pirates already got that replacement. We're good.
The ex-Washington Wild thing.
We got Isaac Matson.
Yeah.
We're good.
Hey, you never know. Santana's been DFA'd, like 5 times in his career, and now he's a top 10 pitcher and relief pitcher in baseball. So, all right.
You DFA'd that many times?
He's been DFA'd a lot. I don't know if it's been 5 times, but it's been
maybe Johan Ramirez will stick this time.
Yeah. Maybe not 5. Brian Hayes, I'm adding to the 50-50 list as well. I think the teams in on him are smaller. The Yankees, the Tigers, the Cubs. I want to talk about just the Yankees in general right now. If you look at third base WAR, the Yankees are at 0.6 on the year. They've released DJ LeMahieu. They're currently platooning Yorbit Vivas and Oswald Peraza at third base. Both of those guys are just awful. So like the Yankees are a team where Brian Hayes is almost a perfect fit for the Yankees, if I'm being honest. Like they are a team that rakes. They just don't have someone to play third base. If you're a team that hits a ton, you can afford to have this 588 terrible OPS on your, in the back of your lineup because he's providing you gold glove defense every single night at third base. So I feel like the Yankees are a pretty good fit here. I also added the Tigers in here as well, mostly because they're just kind of hodgepodging their way into a third base position. They do have Zach McKinstry, who plays there quite often, and he's having, his career year, but they kind of just piece together third base every night with like just whoever is available. And then the Cubs as well. I've got them here because Matt Shaw was supposed to be that third baseman for them, and he's just struggled a ton this year. He has picked it up a lot in just like this past week or so, but he overall has been struggling a ton. So those are my three Brian Hayes potential landing spots here.
If somebody wants Brian Hayes, they can have him. I am so done with Brian Hayes. And I kind of say that in jest, but not really, because he's healthy right now. If you can get anything for Brian Hayes and you don't have to pay the remainder of this contract, I'm making that move tomorrow. It could be a player to be named later. I don't care anymore. I'm done with him. I don't want to pay him $7 million for the next 3-4 years. He's a good baseball player, a great defender, one of the best in baseball. He doesn't provide this team what they need. They're just not a good enough hitting team to be able to roster Brian Hayes. So I'm good. It wasn't a mistake of a contract, but the way they're constructed right now, it's not working out. I'm good just moving on from it.
Yeah, it just isn't the right fit for Pittsburgh. It can be a really good fit for the Yankees. Like the Yankees make a whole lot of sense. It comes down to roster construction, like many things. The Pirates he's still valuable. Like he's still helping the team, even though people say he stinks and they see so much in the batter's box and whatnot. And he's a really, really poor hitter this year, as he's been for most of his career, unfortunately. When that contract was signed, we all said, what the hell? What the hell are you doing, Brian? Like you're only taking that much money. It was so cheap. And today, like it's not a terrible contract. It isn't. You're talking about $7-8 million for a guy. That's nothing. And the guy, even as bad as his offense is, he's still over a 1 WAR player this year. That's how elite his defense is. So when the Yankees have a 119 weighted runs created plus, right, 3 percentage points better than the next best team, the number 1 offense in baseball, that's a roster that's constructed to be able to fit a Brian Hayes, because Brian Hayes helps out your team in most cases. Still, I should say in most cases, but there are teams that he can help. Obviously, there's some better third basemen overall, but he's going to be over a 2 WAR player this year, even with that bad defense. So he will help out the Yankees. He'll help out the pitching for the Yankees as well, which is going to be good because their offense can afford that in their 9 hole or wherever, because they're still going to be probably one of the better offenses in baseball, if not the best still. So this makes a whole lot of sense. I know people hate on Brian Hayes. He's still a valuable player. He still has value with that contract, but unfortunately with the Pirates, it's not a good fit because this team desperately needs offense. So if you can get him off, that's still some savings on the money. Go find ways to improve this team still. It just makes sense for both teams. I like the New York Pirates fit there. That makes a whole lot of sense. I don't know if he gets traded. There's some smoke there. I wasn't really anticipating that. And it's kind of crept up. So I'm interested now.
Yeah, I don't know if this ultimately happens, but like the folks who are saying that he has no value, they're just wrong. He's just not a good fit for the Pirates because we can't hit. So when you just have another guy who is just a terrible hitter, it's just compounding that specific problem. Brian Hayes has 2 times the WAR that all Yankees third basemen have put together this year. So like Brian Hayes would make the Yankees a much better team than they are right now. Like you mentioned, like he's going to provide them platinum defense, platinum glove defense. He's having the best defensive season of his career right now. It's insane the defensive season that Brian Hayes is putting up. It's just his offense sucks. It's terrible. I mean, I think we're all in agreement there. But when you're on the Yankees, that don't matter because you've got other guys on your team who are there to pick up the slack. You can go out there. You can just provide your platinum glove defense night in and night out. You don't have to hit. You just frankly don't have to. You can sit there in the 9-hole, play great defense, and the rest of your team's going to just play merry-go-round on the bases all night long.
I'm going back to it, but we are one injury away from having to eat $7 million a year. And I know it's not much money, but for the Pirates it is. And him just not playing. Like, he has some significant injury history here.
Mm-hmm.
If
Very
you can
true.
get out from under this, I am all in. And also, you have a Walmart version of him in the minors right now in Jared Triolo. They're close to the same dude. Key's a better defender, probably, and probably a better hitter still, but it's not that far off. And a hell of a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I think it's not probably. He is better.
Yeah, Hayes is better.
A hell of a lot cheaper.
I'm with you. I don't want to hear say like Triolo can just be the replacement. Cabrian's still better. But you're talking about pre-arb guy. Talk about $7 million. Maybe you can use that to improve something else there, and you settle with something a little bit less than Cabrian. But again, like that's just what's so polarizing with Cabrian. He is complete extremes for how terrible he is offensively. That's how good he is defensively, and it all just kind of washes together as a good player. It's just that you do see, but you don't, as far like numbers can tell you offense, right? Defense is still very subjective right now. You see him go to the plate 4 times a game, and you see him go 0 for 4 or 1 for 4. And if it's a 1 for 4, it's a single. You see that, right? You don't really, I mean, I know you see the defense, but there's nothing really quantified to really, and say, but again, like at the end of the day, like he is a valuable player. There is some value there. Again, it's not a good fit for the Pirates, and it is what it is. And if there's an opportunity for them to move on from it, like again, also I'm with it too. I'm not going to just dump him, but I don't think you have to at this point. He's been able to show that he's healthy enough this year. I think that's been the key as well for him. There's a lot of, like Tyler said, a lot of concerns about his injury. This year, he's been healthy. To some level, he might not be healthy that he's playing healthy, but he's playing every day now. It's not that he has to take time off. His back's flaring up. Like you never have really heard anything about his back this year. So I think he's built up his trade value, if you want to say, even though he's like a 60 weighted runs created plus hitter, to do so. And maybe this is a good opportunity, maybe like a selling high for Cabrian.
We're selling high on a guy with a sub 600 OPS.
Right.
Yeah. And again, I think we've said it. Like, I like Cabrian Hayes as a player. I think he just does one thing really, really, really well, and then the other thing really, really, really poorly. It's just the problem is the thing he does really, really poorly is the thing the Pirates do really, really poorly. And so it's just not a good fit. Like I said, the contract is not a problem. Like if this team was hitting, this is fine. Like you can stomach the offensive woes for what he's providing you on the defensive side, but it's just not a good fit for this team anymore. And it could be a good fit for somebody else. And I think you're in a position this deadline where if you wanted to, you could go out there and get a Hayes replacement.
Right. Well, like think about this. Cabrian Hayes is getting paid IKF money. IKF was signed as a free agent to be a utility player. Like, again, that's what Cabrian Hayes is making. This isn't like, oh my God, how do we get under this contract? Like it's really nothing. He's getting paid less than David Bednar next year.
Yeah, but like
as
when
a
you
reliever.
look at, I get all this, guys, but when you look at it and you have IKF and Cabrian Hayes making up like 20% of your payroll, that's really freaking annoying because neither dude can hit.
But that's why I'm also saying like there is value to him.
There is.
Teams aren't looking at this and saying like, "Oh no, for $7 million, we can't do it." They're saying the same thing we're saying here. Like $7 million for Brian Hayes? Yeah, I'll take that as long as my roster can account for it, be good enough with it. And again, that's why to me, like the Yankees make a lot of sense with this.
He also don't deal with his family anymore.
Yeah, they'll love Yankees fans.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to enjoy that.
All right, and then I do have I've got a bonus in here as well because there's someone who I don't think quite fits in the 50-50 category. He doesn't quite fit in the gone category, and he doesn't fit in the staying category. But there is one team out there who is competing where they are an utter disaster at the catching position. So, as a bonus here, if there is somebody who would take Joey Bart, it's the San Diego Padres. San Diego Padres are 29th in baseball in catching WAR this season. It's negative 0.7. They are currently trotting out Martin Maldonado, who, he can't hit and hasn't been able to hit really since like the Obama administration. Even then, he barely could do that. And his defense has taken a huge hit. And then they have Elias Diaz backing him up, who also can't hit and also can't field. So, yeah, this is my bonus where like there's really no smoke here. I haven't heard any connections or interest, but like if there's a team that needs a catcher, it's San Diego.
Well, to take it back to Maldonado, the only thing he hit during the Obama administration was Travis Snyder, but I'm Clash. I'll be here all night. But yeah, if you can get rid of Joey Bart, I'm in. I'm good. And that's mainly because I just want to see Henry Davis play constantly. Like it's the Moneyball thing where we're trading Carlos Pena just so I can have my guy play.
I would be okay with it. I mean, this team has an issue with catching. There's not a whole lot of talent there. Indy's out, but Joe, I don't know, man. It's so weird. Like Joey Bart had a really good 2024 that looked like holy hell, Ben cooked, right? He was released, let go by the Giants. Pirates got him, and he had a good season. What was it? 12 home runs and like 280 plate appearances, something like that. He had some power. He hit the ball pretty well. Had some really clutch hits as well. Like, hey, Joey Bart coming next year. Like, what made it nice was Endy and Henry as prospects coming up. Joey Bart had a nice veteran there who showed some promise. Can allow them to develop, still give them some time. And then this year, he's just not like the fielding's gotten worse, I feel. I think, like Tyler said, maybe it's been just as bad. We just didn't pick up and notice it or talk about it as much last year because at least he was good offensively. But he's just a singles man now. Like it's just it's Chris Stewart, but without the defense, and that's not good. And I guess I'm kind of with you. Like, ironically, Henry Davis has turned into the best catcher on this team, at least defensive wise. He's not able to get a whole lot of play time. I think trading Joey Bart, because he has some value, obviously for trading him, allows Henry Davis to be the guy. You can tell Henry, you are the guy, and then let him be the guy. Let him be the guy. There's not much. I don't think there's much difference right now between Henry Davis and Joey Bart anyways. So just let Henry be the guy. If anything, it's going to be a net zero. But maybe you get something out of Henry Davis. Maybe you find why he was the number one pick finally. And if not, well, it's not like anything's different.
And then I think the other thing you can do with that, if you move on from Bart, is that you can bring in a defensive specialist for behind the plate. And maybe that fits a little better than having Bart as your backup catcher who doesn't hit or field.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you get maybe AJ Delay as your backup.
And I just want to say I was right all along.
Sure. blockbuster, the guy who's in Double-A right now.
Correct. Because
No,
Joey
so
Bart
listen,
ruined his career.
I don't think Bart's going to get dealt, but I could see this being a potential match. And we've seen the Pirates and Padres team up at the deadline quite often here lately.
Pirates
Yeah,
don't seem
and
to
it's
win
also
those
just,
ones.
it's not the easiest to make a trade for a catcher. Not that it doesn't happen, but it's also just, it's not the easiest in season.
Yeah, and like as far as catchers go, like Bart would be an upgrade over what they got.
Yeah, and there is more with Bart too. The bat's going to play better than it has, I think, at least.
Hopefully. Yeah, you'd hope so.
He's not going to have a sub 300 slugging, I don't think. But he could.
Yeah, I mean, for his career, he's slugging 359. So, like, this is very not
This is bad.
normal. Yeah. All right. Are we ready to actually get into like predictions and or like real mock trades? So this is where I want you guys in the comments too. I know you guys have been awesome all night, but as these names pop up, go ahead, throw in your predictions, throw in your mock trades, whatever you want. I'll try to get to them. We've got 3 people watching the comments, so we'll try to get to them. But I put together just some mock trades that I feel like are pretty fair. I think there's one trade where like I'm definitely aggressive on, but I think it's because the Pirates can afford to kind of stick to their guns on it. And I'm also preparing you to be underwhelmed because here's the deal. Like when you're the seller at the deadline, like you're usually getting underwhelmed, guys. That's just how it works. I mean, we typically aren't very excited as sellers because you're giving up talent for guys who you hope will be talent down the road, and typically they don't end up coming to fruition. So just prepare to be underwhelmed with being a seller at the deadline. That's all. So are we ready? Ready for first mock trade?
Let's do it.
Sure.
I spelled his name wrong on here. Damn it. All right.
You son of a bitch.
First trade. New York Yankees trade partner. They make a lot of sense here. Pirates send Isaiah Kiner-Falefa to the Yankees for Everson Pereira. Pereira, again, like I mentioned before, he's going to be out of options after this year, but I think he's someone where, like, if you really wanted to give him 2 months just to see what he could do, you could stick him in left field and say, hey, sink or swim, and then make the decision on whether or not you want to keep him. So that's mock trade number 1 for me. I can't believe I spelled Isaiah wrong. My BIKF. My bad.
Like said in the comments, Jim spells Pittsburgh without the H.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. That's the first real error I've made during this presentation.
Yeah, this is gross, but
Though fact remains, you made an error. You were wrong.
I made an error. You're right. It's my bad.
This trade is gross and fair.
Gross and fair.
Yes. I like that. That's correct. That sums this trade up. It's gross because you can't spell anything right, but it's fair. And you make a good point. You're going to be underwhelmed because, as we saw with the Adam Frazier one, what's Adam Frazier going to get in return? Like, what do you really expect Adam Frazier to bring in a trade? Again, think of it opposite. If you're trading for Adam Frazier, you would be roasting Ben Cherington if you gave up anything more than what they got in return. Like, what the hell are you doing? First off, why are you even trading for Adam Frazier? Right. So again, like, what are these values? So I think that's where you're saying underwhelmed. None of these guys are coming in here to say, oh, that's going to change our franchise. It's 2 months of the guy who is the utility player, the guy that you traded your number 22 prospect last year for a year and a half of. Now I only have 2 months of it. You really think you're going to get Aaron Judge in return? So yeah, you're going to be underwhelmed in that sense. But like this guy here in that return, I know you guys were kind of talking about when I came on here. I do like it. The hit tool seems to be kind of there. Like, actually, was that the guy? I forget now.
Yeah, he has no hit tool.
Never mind. That's the guy with some of the power. He's striking out 30% of the time in the minors. But okay, so he has a little bit of the pop that this team doesn't have. But it's IKF. Find out. And then if not, you can move on.
All right. Yeah, so that's the first mock trade I made. Second, Andrew Heaney to the Red Sox for Miguel Bleis.
I feel like this is in that category where you're probably more likely to get one of those upside relievers. I don't know that. I guess like you're talking about a guy in A-ball that doesn't really have a hit tool as well, and you're kind of taking a lottery ticket here. I'd be more comfortable with a reliever, I think, to be honest with you. I think I would take a reliever for Andrew Heaney.
It has unraveled for Andrew Heaney really quickly. And not that I was anticipating him to be as good as he was. Obviously, he was pitching his ass off. But it's like the Brian Hayes, the extremes things. As good as he was early on, that's how terrible he is right now. So I know Miguel Bleis is fallen, but like as mentioned, like he was the Red Sox top 5 prospects last year, and like this is the organization has a good farm system going on for them. I don't know if you're getting that in return right now for Andrew Heaney. Maybe Andrew Heaney was still doing what he was doing through this time, but he has laid an egg hardcore. I think this is almost kind of like a more of a flyer, or like Tyler said, here's a reliever.
I guess
There's still like too much intriguing things about Bleis. I think that you get that return for. Like if I'm a Red Sox fan right now, I'm saying I
guess can you go the Oviedo route with it in the Quintana trade? Like if you can go that type of deal, that's where I would probably go. Because to me, Bleis is more of the Malcolm Nunez path. I'll take the Oviedo path.
I don't think he's
fair.
I don't think he's the Nunez path at all. But
I think that tracks, I think. But I'm yeah, you guys have kind of convinced me that I kind of want, as Murphy kind of puts here in the comments, like give me someone with a really good sweeper and a fastball, and let me just work with them. That's someone kind of under the radar there.
And that's what I was gonna say here too. Yeah, like Quintana was. You talk about the Quintana route. Quintana was a legit starter through and through. Right now, I mean, Andrew Heaney
was he?
Quintana was a lot better than Heaney.
Oh yeah,
a lot better.
I mean, like
Quintana had like a 3-something ERA when he was traded, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes,
he was good.
He was good. I'm not disagreeing with that, but Quintana was also coming off a stretch of years of being not a good pitcher.
He's got a track.
Yeah.
But
Quintana was terrible.
Not like 2 months.
Yeah, but like when Pirates traded Quintana, he had pitched 103 innings, made 20 starts, and he had a 3.50 ERA. Like,
I don't even know what Heaney's at anymore.
Heaney's at a 5.
Is he up to a 5? Good lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has been brutal lately. Never mind.
Right.
Man, he's been really bad.
I know career track wise, you're correct.
Yeah.
But like, what are you doing for me lately, track wise? Heaney is.
Now I think teams know what they're getting with Heaney, though. Like,
he's better than
there's no surprises here. Like, he's a back end starter where if you want to put him in the bullpen, he can do that too. Like, I think you just kind of accept who he is. There are teams that want that. There are teams that need innings consumed during these last 2 months, and he's capable of doing that for you. But like I think someone even mentioned here, like Heaney's a guy who you may not even roster him in the postseason,
right?
But he's someone who can at least like start 8 or 9 games for you between now and then.
Yeah. So maybe you're looking more of that Rich Hill, Jackson Wolf trade package,
right?
Yeah. Which, I mean, they got what? Like, they got a lottery ticket.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't work out with Wolf, but they had an idea what they wanted with him.
Wasn't Suero that? That was Suero in that trade.
It was also
Wolf was in that trade as well.
Yeah, Wolf was in there too.
Yeah, and he's the one.
There's G-Man
Choi. Yeah, they did.
G-Man Choi
and Rich Hill, and they got Wolf, someone else too. But yeah, Suero was like the intriguing piece.
Yeah,
sure.
They got Alfonso Rivas.
That's right.
Oh God, that's right.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot he existed.
Yeah.
Spencer Horwitz before Spencer Horwitz.
Sadly, was like the best first baseman.
He's like the best. What's weird, Alfonso Rivas is one of the top probably 5 players that Ben Cherington's acquired.
He's the best first baseman since Carlos Santana.
Yeah.
Like as far as WAR goes.
Good God. All right. Next mock. Tommy Pham to the Cleveland Guardians for left-handed reliever Eric Sabrowski.
You know what he does throw? Slider.
27 years old. He's pitched in 16 games in his career. So, I mean, late bloomer. A lot of injury problems kind of throughout his minors. But so far, success at the major league level and the little that he's had. And he's a strikeout guy. He strikes everyone out.
And it's a Caleb Ferguson replacement.
Yep.
With some injury issues, but yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. And Steel City DW thinks they say no to the trade, but if there's other guys like this that you can go after. Doesn't have to be him, but in that mold, yeah, I'm good with that.
So again, for Tommy Pham.
I agree. I'm with John. I'm here just for the name.
It is a good name.
Solid name.
Give me all the skis.
All right.
Jack Sawinski.
Yep.
We got more. I think this next one is maybe a pipe dream, but we'll see. I've got Ke'Bryan Hayes going to the Detroit Tigers. I know we talked about how he's a good fit for the Yankees, but I've got him going to the Tigers. And maybe this is asking
a lot,
much, but he's also someone who is completely blocked. Like Jace Young has been terrible at the major league level. He's been a pretty decent prospect, but he's not he's completely fallen from graces. Like he's no longer rated very high. And a potential Ke'Bryan Hayes replacement here. Can play third, can play second, but I feel like the Tigers could use Hayes. The Tigers also, if you are interested in things like defense, as a team,
look at that left side of that infield. Holy hell.
As a team defensively, third base right now, Detroit has -3 defensive runs saved. Ke'Bryan Hayes and the Pirates are sitting at 17. So he's an immediate upgrade defensively there. And with a team that, kind of values pitching as well, I think it's a good fit. And like I said, Young has no spot.
Done. Deal. I'm good.
Actually, I didn't realize shortstop is terrible for them too. They're 26, -7 defensive run saves. So I was never mind about him and Javi. But that would help them out then, the left side. Because he's got all that range too. I'm doing it, absolutely. Just on the intrigue fact. I don't know if Detroit's doing that though.
I mean, just to kind of so far, he made his major league debut last year, and he's played in 18 games this year. In 52 major league games, he's hitting 194, 320 OBP, 234 slugging. He has yet to hit a homer in 147 plate appearances. So the minor league track record just hasn't correlated to major league success yet. He's striking out 29.9% of the time. He's striking out quite a bit in AAA as well, but he is hitting the ball there. Again, I don't love Jace Young. I don't love him at all. But like I think this is a fair return because again, where's Detroit going to put him? Now they can afford to keep him down in the minors for a while. He still has 2 more options remaining after this year, but I feel like this is fair, and it's someone who could be a potential Ke'Bryan Hayes replacement for you if things work out.
Yeah, I just don't want to poo-poo him too much. It's been 52 games.
Yeah.
Like you expect the
former
struggles.
first round pick. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of talent there. And they would definitely be giving up, I feel like. I don't know though. I mean, again, like I'm Pirates, I'm taking it.
And I mean, I think I could talk myself into it if I'm Detroit as well, because it could you can keep him down there for 2 more years and he runs out of options, then you get nothing. You can actually get a major leaguer with some value. So
yeah.
Like,
I guess
if I'm Detroit, I could talk myself into it.
I can talk myself into it, but if I'm Detroit, I'm also saying, but do I have to settle for Ke'Bryan Hayes? Like, is there something better?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I just want to bring up one thing. There's a comment saying that Jack Brannigan is ready. Jack Brannigan just had surgery. He's out for the year.
Yeah, he's not ready.
Torn labrum, I think, is what it was. Like major
shoulder,
injury, yeah. Not great. And labrums aren't good to come back from either. All right. Next one. And this is where I'm being aggressive and I'm holding out for a legit return. And I hate trading David Bednar to the Cubs, but I'm sending David Bednar to the Cubs for Owen Casey. And this is the type of return I would need if I'm trading David Bednar. But Owen Casey is, outside Spencer Jones, probably the best power bat that's like seemingly available. There's no spot for him on the Cubs, especially if they want to keep Kyle Tucker, for next year. And they get a lockdown, shutdown reliever. The Cubs are trying to win this division. They're trying to win a World Series. David Bednar he'd be a huge asset to them. And yeah, I am, if I'm trading David Bednar to the Cubs, I'm getting Owen Casey in return.
I like the idea of the type of player that you're going after here. I don't know if this particular player is the one I want, and it's just strikeout rate related, that I don't know if he'll hit well enough to be a contributing major leaguer as often as you would hope. So obviously Cubs top prospect. So I would like to get a top prospect for David Bednar. I just don't know if I want this one. I need a little more of a hit tool.
I think this is as good as you're going to get for David Bednar.
And maybe, but like, if I could get a guy with maybe a little bit less power and a little better hit.
More certainty.
That's probably the right way to phrase it. But how much certainty can you ask for when you're dealing David Bednar?
It's just a lower floor, but it has a floor.
Yeah.
That's what makes this trade for me a little uneasy. There's some upside there though. And I love him better than Spencer Jones. Spencer Jones, I don't want any part of. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I could tell myself like a Ke'Bryan Hayes deal for Spencer Jones. That ain't gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I just don't think he's a major league player. Casey, I can see it. There's still a lot of question marks, and I would hate to trade David Bednar for what could have been. So that's one with Tyler. Maybe less ceiling, but give me more floor. But then again, like there's a lot of upside here. And this is one of those deals where it's like I told you, like I was all about keeping Bednar, but now he's at that peak where I think you get a really interesting prospect back, and this is it. This is it. So there's a lot of variables and range in this, though, right? It could be like, oh my God, I can't believe they traded David Bednar and the Cubs went and won a World Series, and then he had 7 saves against the Pirates the next year and helped keep the Pirates under a 500 team again. In case he never managed, but it also could be like, hey, Pirates got a legit bat and they needed it. Good job, Ben.
I think I'm just like I've been beat up by this team too much. Like I've seen way too many 30% strikeout rate guys come through here and just be complete failures.
I'll say this,
Tyler. We've
about
seen
Casey.
too many 20% strikeout guys come over here, and
I'll say this about Casey though. Like he does seem to like. Again, this is a development thing. Like he seems to be developing in AAA. So like if you take the last, I mean, we're dealing with a month and a half now. Like this isn't a super small sample size. So over those last 125 plate appearances, 28 games, he's homered 13 times. His strikeout rate's down to 24%. He has a 327 batting average, 424 OBP. He's slugging 766. He's got almost a 1200 OPS, a 194 weighted runs created plus. I feel like, and I agree with you, Donardo, where like Spencer Jones is getting all this hype right now. Owen Casey seems to be developing into a legit corner power bat. And again, if I'm the Cubs, and I'm looking to win a World Series this year, David Bednar is going to help me do that. Owen Casey's not. And I know this is giving up a lot. Like Owen Casey is a top 50 prospect on Pipeline. I think he's like 58 or 59 on Baseball America. I think Fangraphs doesn't have him in the top 100, but that list hasn't been updated since April. But like he's a guy whose stock is rising. And he seems to be developing into a better hitter than he was before. And so I'm absolutely willing. Again, I don't like trading Bednar, but Owen Casey fits what this team needs.
For sure. He does. And to your point about the development, like he hit AAA at 21. He's now 22 and doing this. Spencer Jones finally reached AAA this year at 24. Like that's a bit of a difference also. Like I'm more comfortable with Casey than Spencer Jones. Again, I don't want Spencer Jones pretty much anywhere near the Pirates. But Casey, I can absolutely talk myself into. Like that's a guy like, you know what? I could see him exist in the major leagues. And if it takes David Bednar, it's probably going to take maybe him or more. Maybe there's some type of package. Maybe they add something in there also to sweeten it to make it happen. I don't know. But regardless, just Casey, there's risk. There's certainly risk. And that's what makes it a little harder with the Bednar deal here, because Bednar could also help you be that team next year that you're trying to be for the Pirates. But Casey could do this for next year as well and for more years after. And it's in a position that you really need. And I could easily talk myself into this, though, if it happened. And then it's trust in Ben. Oh, boy.
He is the type of player who will be a legitimate major leaguer with the Cubs, but if he is on the Pirates, he will be a scrub. Because this is the type of player this team cannot develop.
Well, he's already developed. So I mean, you do need to get developed in the majors a little bit, but he's 23, so like he has had a lot of development. I'll add this to like he's a lefty bat, which just plays nicely at PNC. Like I feel like out of all of those guys that the Cubs have, this is the one that I'd want the most. But again, if you're dealing Bednar, like this is the type of return I'm needing. And I think this is the type of return that he warrants, is somebody like this.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Idea-wise and all that. It's just, again, like specifically the player and knowing the Pirates. I am worried on that.
There's just so much power.
There is. I think there's a lot of upside.
A lot of power.
And there's so much that can go wrong.
There is. I mean, yeah, there is too. There's that too.
All right.
All right. We ready for the final mock trade?
It's the final mock trade.
And I feel like people are going to be underwhelmed with this one, but I also think this is kind of fair. The Mets get Mitch Keller and Caleb Ferguson. The Pirates get Carson Bench, Ronnie Mauricio, and Ryan Clifford.
I'm out.
I mentioned earlier in the show, Carson Benj is someone who, like, if I'm dealing with the Mets, I'm looking at that guy and trying to get him into my organization. Ronnie Mauricio is someone who I think could play third base, and I actually like him probably more than Jace Young. Ryan Clifford, but yeah, that's my mock trade. Again, this isn't a me trade. This is like a
no. I'm with Anthony Murphy. Fire Jim Analytics.
No, this is a what I think could happen, and this is. I could see a trade like this happening. And Carson Benj, I like Carson Benj quite a bit.
Bridge to Bucktober. That's actually hilarious, Rosati. That's rage bait, and you know it is.
Yeah,
I told you all to be underwhelmed.
Fire Jim. Hashtag fire Jim for your chance to win 4.
But tell me you like Carson Benj.
So that's a good start to this trade. And I think someone in the comments here, like, if you throw Drew Gilbert in there as well, like, I think I listen more than Mauricio. I like Gilbert more than that. And then I need more than Clifford. Clifford sucks ass.
Yeah, Clifford was a throw-in.
He sucks. He's terrible. So no, I'm not making that deal at all. Like, I need a lot more than that.
I don't know if you're getting a lot more than this.
Well,
do you think you're getting like? Here's the deal: if you're trading Keller at the deadline, are you getting a better prospect, better headlining prospect than Carson Benj?
Well, I'll just say this: that's debatable. But what I think the reason I hate this also is just, again, like, 17 games in AA. Like, I like the prospect, but it's still a prospect, and that's not why you're trading Mitch Keller. I can't. It's 17 games in AA.
Yeah,
it's 17 games in AA. Like, there's still a lot of development has to come. There's still a lot of what is he really? There's still a lot of the Heaney impact 2026. Again, like, if you're trading Mitch Keller right now, like, that guy has to have an impact in 2026 because that year matters.
Well, that's where Mauricio
absolutely matters.
That's your 2026 opening day third baseman.
Okay. If you're that confident, I would like to be, but I can't be. I can't be confident this makes this team next year better. I'm hopeful that it is, but that hope also comes in the fact that I have to hope this organization can develop and make that happen. And just as we talked about with Young, there's still development in the major leagues that happens. Like, chances are, if he's your opening day starter, he might not start going until mid-May. That's just the nature of the game, and that's fine. That's fine. But that's not why. It's not why you're making this Keller move right now.
That's the big thing. Like, you just don't have to move Keller right now. So if I am even slightly underwhelmed, I'm not doing it.
If I'm not getting what I want, this is the time that Ben gets to sit on a throne and say, these are my demands. If you don't meet them, you don't get them. And that is it. This isn't I got to get rid of this guy. Best package out there. Simply, this is what I want. This is what's going to take. You meet it or you don't. Then when it's not met because it's the trade deadline, you have all offseason to do it again, which is something he was entertaining last year, sounds like. Went to Spencer Horwitz route instead. But again, that's why you trade Mitch Keller. Just do better than Spencer Horwitz.
So to go back to my original point, this is why I don't trade Mitch Keller right now. Because you're not getting Wilyer Abreu right now for Mitch Keller. Mm-hmm. You're not getting Jaron Duran for Mitch Keller right now. You could get them this offseason, but you're not getting them right now. If you're trading Mitch Keller right now, you're getting prospects. And if you're trading Mitch Keller right now, you may not be helping your 2026 team.
Exactly.
Where this trade probably doesn't help him in 2026. It could help him in 2027.
I want to ask you something for your perspective for both of you, right? I know it's not going to happen likely, but what if the prospect was a Casey? Someone who's closer, someone again, like still a prospect, but
I'm not trading Keller to the Cubs.
That too. No.
Like, I said a player like Case, the idea of it.
Okay.
So like you're telling me whoever the team is, their number one prospect.
Well, the number one prospect could be Connor Griffin and still in A ball. Like I'm talking about the guy who's in AAA, who's been there. Like you talk about, he's developed. What if it's still a prospect, but it's a prospect you say like I traded for him, and I can put him in the lineup tomorrow.
So here's the thing: like that guy needs to exist,
right? There aren't many.
And like we just went through these teams, and I don't think that guy exists.
Yeah, but they could always be a mystery team. I'm just saying though, the idea of it.
I'm aware, but even the mystery teams, there aren't. I don't know of any other contenders where they have like a major league ready impact bat just chilling in AAA, who they would trade for Mitch Keller.
The Cubs,
and maybe the Yankees. Those are your two. Like it's Spencer Jones or it's Owen Casey, and we just talked about how we don't like Spencer Jones. If you made me choose who would I rather have in my organization right now, Spencer Jones or Carson Bench, I'm going Bench. I'm going to regret that in 2 years.
I am too. I'm going that route.
But like,
so I'm not trading Mitch
I'm
for
still
either
looking at it in that sort of way. Murphy brings up a good point. Dalton Rushing maybe fits that mold, but I also don't think the Dodgers don't need Mitch Keller in any capacity.
They also don't need Dalton Rushing. The Dodgers don't need anything.
True.
They're just trading for funsies.
Yeah. Alex Freeland, another one. But like I said, Mitch Keller to the Dodgers just isn't a good fit.
Actually, in a sense, it kind of is.
Yeah, they kind of do need a guy that they don't have to put on the IL constantly.
Yeah.
But
they kind of is.
They don't though.
But also
they really don't. They don't need anybody. Like what the Dodgers need is someone to like win them postseason games. They've got the arms to do that. They don't need a workhorse starting pitcher. They have enough. They just have enough guys. Emmett Sheehan and Clayton Kershaw can get them there. Glasnow's healthy now. Yamamoto's healthy now and killing it. Ohtani's getting there. Like the Dodgers don't need Mitch Keller.
Fine, we'll take Rushing for David Bednar.
I would do that.
No shit.
Yeah, I would do that for sure. As much as I am going to regret it for 6 years because of Jim, I would do it.
I'm always up for acquiring more Louisville guys. So if we want to somehow bring in Dalton Rushing this deadline, you won't hear me complain.
Joey Bart to the Padres, bring in Rushing for something. Have the all Louisville backstop. I'm here for it.
Go ahead and get Bobby Miller too while we're at it. That's all I got. Slideshow's over.
Oh, that's all. It's been 2 hours, by the way.
I know.
I don't know. Denardo
what the hell's going on?
You know what though? That was a fun show. You guys in the comments too. You guys were awesome. I do want to highlight. I starred some comments here, so just to kind of go through. Christopher Miller, Keller, and IKF for Volpe and Jones. John Keller to Boston for Duran, Bednar to Detroit for Lorenzo and Anderson. We've got Gregory here, Dennis Santana, and Caleb Ferguson to the Mets for Luis Angel Acuna. I'm not really a big Luis Angel Acuna fan. He's a second baseman, and I don't think he can hit. IKF for Yorbit Vivas from Buckle Mike. Charles, Mitch Keller, IKF for Spencer Jones. I'm assuming he means Spencer Jones, Yankees there. Charlie, Termar Johnson, and Brian Hayes for Luis Arise. That's an interesting one. that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Nathan Heaney for Tiso Ornelas. You know what? I was actually looking at Terso Ornelas as a possible return for somebody. So that makes sense. And the San Diego Padres have been dealing for rental lefties for the past 2 years. Mitch Keller for Jaron Duran, Birch of October, IKF for Domingo Ayala, Keller for Vientos, Gilbert, and Acuna. Yeah, I don't like Vientos. I don't like Acuna. But yeah.
We're going to have a fun 7 days.
It's going to be a fun 7 days. Yep. I think the Pirates are going to be very active. I don't know if Keller gets traded because honestly, this is like the point of this show for me was like, if you're trading Keller right now, I don't think you're getting what you want. I think you can get a good package for him, but I don't think it's what you want.
Right.
I'll bring the PowerPoint next week.
Mm-hmm. Well, literally 1 week, Thursday, the trade deadline. So I think the plan is we'll have NS9 live on Wednesday. They play the Giants, but it's like a day game. So we'll have NS9 live Wednesday to leave Thursday open for all the emergency podcasts and trade deadline shows and all that good stuff. So, but I'm with you guys too. Like it's going to be active. Pirates going to make a plethora of moves.
Yep.
All right. We out of here?
I think we're finally out of here.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Jim, you want to take us out since you opened? You were the host.
Everybody, thanks for watching. If you're listening after the fact, I'm sorry this was 2 hours long, but rate the show. Tell your friends. If you're watching it after the fact, leave a comment. Go ahead and comment your mock trades and tell me how stupid the Mitch Keller one is that I put together. But yeah, appreciate all you guys. Like the video, subscribe to the page if you haven't already. You guys are awesome, and we'll have a fun week coming up. Hopefully, it's not too depressing, and hopefully, we're not underwhelmed.
Well,
but that's all I got. We appreciate you guys.
Love you all.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.